To no one's surprise, another Sweet Baby Inc. failure has been added to the list. This time it is Unknown 9 Awakening. And we're seeing that player counts have already declined by over 40% in just the first week. And that is astounding because no one was playing this game to begin with. And the people that were playing this game got it for free with the purchase of various AMD products. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. I will have the link in the description below where you can also join to become a member of the channel and help support our endeavors here. So this is what we're looking at. Unknown 9 Awakening has seen its peak player count already decline by 41.7%. It hit an all-time peak concurrent player count of just 285 on Friday, October 18th, but has seen that number consistently drop throughout the week, the next week, and through the weekend. In fact, in the past 24 hours, the peak concurrent player count only hit 166. And as I said, that is a 41.7% decline. This game is being rejected even by the people who happened to play it. They don't like it. They don't like this game at all. And as I said earlier, these numbers are really, really bad, especially when you realize that this game was given away for free upon purchase of select AMD Ryzen processors, Radeon RX series graphics cards, or AMD configured systems. This is on AMD's website. If you purchased any of those things, you got both Unknown 9 Awakening and Space Marine 2, Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2, which is actually a good game from what I hear. Not so the case with Unknown 9 Awakening, right? And we see that many of the people who are reviewing this game have indicated that they have received it for free. There are dozens of these reviews. I only included 3 in this article. I'm not sure how many people actually have done this. One would assume it is quite a bit. Might be the only way that this game gets saved financially. Even then, I don't think it's going to. But we have this person here. They actually gave it they positive review, but when you read the review, it doesn't seem very positive. Thank you, AMD, for bringing PS2 graphics into the PC community in 2024. For inexplicable reasons, the game still runs 30 FPS at native 4K resolution, despite using yours truly 7800 X3D and RX 7900 XTX. Now, if excuse me, I need to return to Imperium as I have yet to kill enough of those abhorrent Xenos for the Emperor. So clearly not a positive review for this game, even though it says recommended, but you read the review, clearly a negative review. And again, notes that they received the product for free. Again, like I said, there's dozens of these. Here's another one. This one is from McDominic H. I got this game for free, and that is a good thing. Developers need to understand that every game in this day and age needs to have at least a somewhat good combat system, not make a dodge, attack, crap show like this is. I had at least a little bit of hope, ignoring everybody that was telling me that it wasn't looking good, and went into the game ready to be surprised, but here we are. Everything is so stiff and unnatural. It's impressive that they managed to mess up that badly. The premise for the story is actually somewhat interesting, but it was delivered so badly, it all just felt very empty. All in all, just play anything. I mean, that's what happens, right? When these people create these DEI agenda-focused games, it all ends up becoming empty because the DEI agenda is indeed empty. There is nothing to it. It does not trying to point you towards anything transcendent. There's nothing about truth. There's nothing about good. There's nothing trying to elevate you. It is completely and utterly empty and soulless. More and more people are obviously recognizing this, even though they might not connect the two to each other yet. But they are recognizing that when you have this DEI agenda in games like this, they end up being soulless. They recognize that the game has no soul, that they're empty. Maybe they just haven't realized that there is that connection. But that's what we're here to do. We're here to help them figure out that that is indeed a connection. We have this guy here, Trace Devils. He also wrote this: I got this game for free, and I want a refund of the time I wasted on it. Graphics are garbage, combat is mediocre, main character stares directly into your soul with no emotion in her eyes. There isn't much redeeming about this game. Don't waste your time or money on it. Again, another person pointing out how empty and soulless it is. No emotion in her eyes. So none of this is surprising, right? None of this is surprising. But this is an utter catastrophe for both Reflector Entertainment and Bandai Namco, given the two are attempting to launch, quote, an ever-expanding landscape with the game. In fact, if you go to Bandai Namco's website, they have an entire page dedicated to how this is some kind of multimedia endeavor. They are trying to basically launch an entire new universe with this game. We saw this with Concord, right? They were going to have all these vignettes. They were going to want the IP to be stuck in your mind. They were going to be expanding all of this. There was the next Star Wars is what the rumors were saying. What ended up happening, the game was shut down in less than 2 weeks. I doubt this game will get shut down in less than 2 weeks, given that it is a single player game. But clearly, this IP is now dead. But they wanted to make this absolutely massive. This is what it says. It's designed to expand across different entertainment mediums. With every new story you consume, the more journeys you follow, the more connections you spot, and the clearer, the larger, broader narrative becomes. Think of it as multiple stories that come together to form one big adventure, a storytelling approach that unfolds a single narrative across multiple platforms, each one contributing uniquely to the overall experience. I mean, they did a podcast, they did a trilogy of novels, and they had a comic book series. I mean, they were literally trying to make this the next Marvel Cinematic Universe, the next DC Comics. And that is obviously not going to happen. Complete and utter failure here from the get-go. Where do we look at? A peak concurrent of just 285 total and utter failure. And again, this is not surprising because it was worked on by Sweet Baby Inc. We know this because the Shorty Awards featured a post, or they featured this game on their website, and it lists Sweet Baby Inc. co-founders David Bedard and Kim Belair in the game's credits. Bedard is credited as the brand content manager at Reflector Entertainment, while Belair is credited as story architect at Sweet Baby Inc. So this is just another massive, massive failure. Shows that Sweet Baby Inc. really are not good at their jobs. People do not want them. They do not want the woke ideology that they are trying to push into the video game industry. And at least one thing that they seem to be well at is that they are good at burning video game companies and developers and the video games that they do work on to the ground. I'm not sure if that is part of their plan to burn the video game industry to the ground, as their employee Cameron Wild said that their goal was, but they are clearly burning companies like Reflector Entertainment to the ground, like Surgeon Studios to the ground, and it is having negative effects on bigger companies that are working with these other companies, such as Bandai Namco. In this case, obviously, Warner Brothers with Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League as well. And we also kind of knew that this game was going to be terrible. We had this rumor here from Stuttering Craig, the host and owner over at Side Scrollers Podcast. He said that his retail insider informed him that the game only had a total of 46 pre-orders, but 12 of them were actually canceled. So they ended up only having 34 total over 800 stores. So we knew that this was going to be really bad, just kind of based on some retail stuff. Now, obviously, doesn't always match up that way, but I think we can still get a good indication of interest in a game based on retail pre-orders. But this is just another Sweet Baby Inc. disaster, another DEI agenda disaster. Gamers are not interested in this. We do not like this stuff. We recognize it for what it is. It is soulless. It is empty. You can read the reviews. And even people that are playing it for free are disgusted by the game. And we even have multiple people saying, I wish I could get a refund for the time I spent playing this game, even getting it for free with the purchase of whatever AMD product they decided to purchase. But let me know what you guys make of this game, already losing 40% of its peak player counts in just the first week. That is where we're at here now. Just complete and total disaster. Let me know what you make of this in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.